Hey friends, Jessica here with another layout process video for Scrap Squad. This is a weekly lift. They get a new lift every Thursday. For me, it's Thursday. Usually I think it's Friday at midnight, but the time difference is a little earlier for me. So basically I'm just starting here and I've got my photo, I've picked out my papers. I love these pineapples and I'm so excited to get to use them. It's a nice bright summery paper. This was in July of last year. It's a picture of my son, who is 2.5 now, in his little dump truck riding around in the yard, and he just loved it and was having the time of his life. So I'm using double papers here and just distressing the edges a little bit by just tearing them and then rolling them up a little bit with my fingers. So it just gives that little extra texture in there. And then you'll see me go in here soon and pick up this gesso. It's the Art Basics gesso. I love it because it does dry clear. And if you have a colored background or even just on white, I like to use this clear because if you use white on it, it doesn't always show up as being the same color as your paper. So I put a little bit too much on there, and rather than waste it, I go and grab a white sheet of paper that I'll use later, and I just put the excess on there. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and map my photos, just using up some scrap pieces of smooth white cardstock and some pattern paper from my scrap stash. And I do play around with it a little bit here because I can't decide if I want the lighter end of the paper or the darker end. So in the end, I chose the lighter ombre and just matted that photo with that. And then here's where I'm going to take my clear sheet of transfer. So if you have stickers or anything, save those clear sheets whenever you're done with them, the packaging. This is called the packaging technique or the kissing technique that I'm going to use here. And I'm going to go ahead and draw out my template so I don't put mixed media where my photo and paper is because I don't need it there. So this just kind of gives me a guide for where I need to go. And I'm using the Shimmerz line, Shimmerz Paintz in Tickle Me Turquiose. It's from one of the latest hip kits that we got in the mail. So I just put some of that on my transfer sheet there and add some water to it. And then I'm just kind of working it around. I do the kissing technique there to kind of move it around on the paper, and then I kind of dab it on there to get some splotches, and then I go in and add some extra splatters with some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Ocean Color. And then I start going in also with some darker shades. So I use Holtz Distress Oxide in Faded Jeans. So I'm just adding a little bit of that in and kind of working it around, adding a little water here and there, kind of helping it move. Then I'm just turning my paper, letting it drip where it wants to go and just helping it a little bit. And here I dabble up some of the excess with a paper towel. Not too much because I want to keep the effect that it has, but there's just a little too much product there. So I do dry up the excess. And then I'm taking my heat gun to it to dry the rest of it. I'm not quite done yet. It's not just where I like it, but I like the way that the blue all looks and is mixing together. So I'm just basically drying it so that I can go back in and add some more layering here. I'm adding some more speckles with the Faded Jeans. And then I add some more with the Heidi Swapp Ocean Color as well. The Heidi Swapp Shine Sprays, they are that. They are very shiny, very shimmery. They are so pretty in the light. I wish it would do it justice here so you could see it. And I go back in and I add some more speckles just to give it just a little extra pop with the yellow paper. So I go in with the Tim Holtz Squeeze Lemonade as well for some extra splatters. Then I find this cute little heart on my desk and I try to use it, but it just doesn't look right behind my photo. So I opt out of that. It's been sitting here on my desk forever, and I've been trying to use it on a layout, but I just haven't found the perfect one yet. So here I just start pulling in the rest of my embellishments. I have this little scrap of doily laying on my desk as well, so I grab that. And I have this little postage stamp that's just at the edge of the paper, so it's cut off just a little bit, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to tuck it behind my photo there so you'll never even know that it's missing that corner. I try to use anything that I can, even if it's just a piece of something. You can often use things that you have and just work with them. And this little egg, that egg has been in my stash for probably 3 or 4 years, maybe longer. And I've been dying to use it. And I'm finally going to put it on this layout. I'm so excited. Just using lots of random bits. The old kit that I have, the summery kit here that I'm cutting pieces out of, that's an old Eco Park summer kit. They probably don't even make it anymore, but I love it, and I've been using that lately. These are embellishments from the recent Hip Kit Club kit, the Hello Today collection from Simple Stories. I'm trying to find some that'll match in here. A lot of these will match and look really great, but it doesn't really portray the message that I want to say with this layout. So I find this good vibes only, and it matches with his outfit so perfect. I couldn't have planned that out better if I tried. So I'm super excited that I get to use that, and it matches so well. So I just continue adding my embellishments, still looking for other pieces that I can add. But this is my process. This is what I do. I pull out all the things and I go through a lot of the stuff that I have, only to use a few of them. But you get the idea. Just placing my items. I find this cute little feather here laying on my desk as well. And I kind of play around with it, whether to use it, whether to not use it. I put it down, I pull it back. But in the end, it does end up here, and it looks super cute on this layout. So just tucking in my doily piece, adhering that with my well-loved ATG gun that's got cracks in it, and it's been dropped several times. My kids help out with that a little bit, but that's okay. They're helping Mama. So just gluing down my picture here. Remember, I don't want to cover up too much of that mixed media, so I'm glad that I already had it drawn out to where I wanted it to be. That really helps me a lot. Put my little geotag down there with my sunshine. And there's my egg. I do add some extra adhesive to it because I don't know about you, but I feel like my older scrapbooks are peeling up and, losing their sense of stick. So I do add extra adhesive to most of my stickers just in case. Whether it be glue dots or my tape runner, I still try to add some extra adhesive to most of them. I'm playing around with these little title pieces and little hearts, just placing them down where I want them. I see this Wanderlust sticker, which is just perfect for him. So I definitely want to use that somewhere, just kind of playing around to where I want it. So there, it looks like the perfect place for me, just kind of tucked in there under the awesome. I find that little yellow star by the egg laying on my desk as well. I have a little bin here of just random embellishments that are left over that I need to use someday. So I'm always excited whenever I can use some of those pieces up. I'm going to pull out some of Vicki Boutin's Storyteller sticker sheets here. I just love these little titles. They're just little random words, and they just go perfect. You can see that mine has been well loved here. And I don't know if they're in stock or not. Usually they sell out really fast, so I don't know that I can get another one. But they have gone on so many of my layouts. They just work well for any occasion. And this one here that I have is kind of geared more towards travel. It's one of her older ones, but I love it too. And I found so many other uses for it, even though it's travel related. And this, I mean, there's a cruise sticker in here. Normally you would use that for a cruise ship, you know, a trip that you go on, but I love it with this. He's cruising. He's in his dump truck. He's having the time of his life. He's going through the mud and the water, and he is just cruising in his dump truck. So it just worked out perfect for this. Because I don't know that we'll ever actually go on a cruise. That's not really something that interests us as a family. So, especially with our kids being so little. I know a lot of people do it, I'm sure, but I like to keep my feet in the sand and on the beach rather than on a boat, I guess. Plus, my husband will probably get motion sickness. I don't know. So here I'm just adding some more stickers and embellishments, anything that I can find and get my hands on that'll match up good. I decided to do a little bit of stamping on this, so I'll pull out my stamp blocks, my stamp pads. As you can see, I don't stick to just one company for my stamp pads. I use whatever. I've got some Close to My Heart Black there. I've got some Crushed Curry from Stampin' Up. And the third one underneath that is also a Close to My Heart one. It's Pacifica, I believe. And I don't really have a lot of inks. I just have maybe about 10 or so from just mixed different companies. Usually for black, I would use StazOn. That's my go-to. But this one, I just decided to use the regular. I didn't really care if they got smushed around a little bit on top of the mixed media because this is kind of a distressed layout anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Whereas if I use StazOn, it would be there. It's a StazOn ink. It dries super fast. It's kind of hard to work with if you need to do any precise stamping or anything, just because you don't have a lot of time before it dries. So you kind of have to stamp it down quickly. But I kind of wanted it to be placed a certain way and in certain places. So I just grabbed my regular for this. And then I find some old stamps that I have too. These are from the dollar bins at Michael's. I don't know if anyone else goes through those bins, so they're not the greatest quality of stamp, but they are super cute. And they're so cheap. I mean, how can you pass that up? That Adore You is just so sweet. And I do. I totally adore him. Him and his wild curls that he got from his pappy and from me. I love it. He's just having so much fun. So here I'm going in with the Crushed Curry from Stampin' Up. This is just a really nice yellow. It's kind of like an orangey type of yellow. And I do really like Stampin' Up stamp pads. I need to get some more. Then I pull in my die cut. I think this one is a Paige Evans die cut, but I'll have to check. I'll post it in the description below. And just adding some enamel dots. And here I'm going to back my cut file, or I guess I'm not really backing it. I'm going to actually pop up the letters so that they're dimensional, but I'm going to glue down my outside piece there with my Creative Memories Precision Pen, glue pen. I love it for stuff like this. It's really sticky. And it dries clear too. So here I'm just going to use the pop dots or dimensionals to pop up the letters off of the page. And then I go and grab my, I have a star punch. It's just a little star. It's just a basic hole punch. But I do think that the D and the R, because I don't cut out the middles, I think, oh, that would look so cute if I put a star in the middle of those and cut that out. So I go and grab that here shortly and punch those out. See, I put it down there, and that's when I discover, ooh, I have that star punch. That would be perfect for this. And it does turn out upside down, and I don't care. It's fine. I really wasn't shooting for anything perfect anyways. I do the same with the R. And then I back the rest of it. You'll see here, just finishing up. Getting the rest of those pop dots on there. And there's my title. And just finishing up, putting a couple little dimensionals under those hearts that I put on earlier. And then my last thing here is I want to add these cute pineapples, so I add a couple of those. And there's my finished layout. I love the way the mixed media turned out on this one. It was so fun to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you try some mixed media if you're not familiar with it. If you want me to do anything else or show you anything, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.